Hey everybody, thanks for joining me for another episode of Trucker Money. It is Friday. Every Friday we get together and we talk about all things financial outside of trucking. Investing, passive income, side income, saving and planning for retirement. It's not financial advice, it's just me sharing my personal journey to kind of open a discussion and hopefully get people on board to take control of their financial future outside of trucking. So, you may notice I look a little bit differently this week. Not making a fashion statement. I'm not starting a new trend. Just had eye surgery here for the second time this year, and hopefully this one sticks a little better than the first one. Going to be out of commission for a few weeks, not lifting anything heavy, so we won't be doing any videos like that. And we do have some other things planned, and I have a couple things pre-recorded that I can put out meanwhile. Now, this week, as we go along here, we'll do it a little bit differently since I have the time. As we talk about any increases or cuts we took or who paid or what investments I made this week, we will visit each individual company's investor relations website and just take a quick look at that. And then after that, we're going to talk a little bit about my plan, because we talk all the time about having a plan and being detailed about it. So I'm going to put my money where my mouth is a little bit this week and talk a little bit about my plan and see if we're on track, meeting some goals, what my goals are. I'll divulge to you what my goals are, and we'll just run some numbers here and see if we're on track. So let me flip this computer screen around here and we will get started. All right, so first, something to touch on. We had a couple of the usual things go on, earned a couple dollars off of YouTube. Not much. They don't pay much for small channels. Maybe that'll change someday, but I like to fully disclose everything. And I made just a couple dollars off the Mudflap app. If you have not checked that out yet, check out the Mudflap app on your phone. See if it's got better fuel discounts than what you're getting now. And if you sign up, use the promo code DIYSemi, one word, and that will get you a $10 credit on your account after your first fueling. So $10 in free fuel and quite possibly better fuel prices than what you're getting right now. So for this week, we had a couple interesting things go on here. Let's start over here with General Mills. General Mills increased their dividend 4.08%. Now, they froze their dividend for a while after their Blue Buffalo acquisition, so I'm happy to see them boosting that again, especially since they're a pretty sizable portion of my portfolio. They're a core holding, and I really like General Mills. This is their investor relations website. Pretty fancy looking right here. You can see the stock price, and if you scroll down, you can see some quarterly presentations here, press releases. Here it talks about their sales, their operating profit, their earnings, free cash flow. You can get all the financial documents you want on this company right off their investor relations website. And that's true for most companies. Now, of course, they're going to put a positive spin on everything, but the numbers are what the numbers are. And you can go to Yahoo Finance or whatever, and the numbers should match. But of course, here, when they talk about the news, they're going to put a positive spin on everything. So you just want to, go to an independent source also. And that could be anywhere. Yahoo Finance, Fidelity, Vanguard, whoever you get your news from. The numbers should all be the same. So they give a 4.0% dividend increase. The next one is Pfizer. Pfizer announced today a 4.22% dividend increase. That's a pretty nice increase. Here's what their page looks like. They got a lot of stuff on here about the COVID, I notice. You can see their quarterly performances, anything, shareholder services right here, 2019 annual review and all their annual documents right down here. So that's pretty handy. Now, let's go to the one I'm excited to talk about. Realty Income, ticker symbol O. You hear that name a lot. Monthly payer. Increased their dividend yet again. Only 0.21%, but what you got to remember is they increased their dividend more than one time a year. Now, this is episode 20, and if you remember, I know this is at least the second time they've increased their dividend in 20 weeks, possibly the third time, but I'd have to go back and check, and I'm just not motivated to do that right at this moment. If my memory serves me, it might have been the third time. Man, do I love this company. So let's just take a look at these guys for a little bit. They have a great investor relations website. And if you want to find it, just go to Google and type in Realty Income, investor relations. So let's learn a little bit about their company. Here's their homepage. Since 1994, when they were listed on the New York Stock Exchange, they have a 15.3% average annual return. Now that is fantastic. If you put some money in there in 1994 when they were first listed, you'd have killed it. Okay? Talk about, beating or matching the S&P. This would be a great example of it right there. 602 consecutive monthly dividends paid. Let's see what that is in years. 602 divided by 12. That's 50. That's over 50 years of consecutive monthly dividends paid. That's fantastic also. Compound annualized dividend growth since 1994, 4.5%. That's rock solid. That's a good, solid annual growth rate in their dividend. 92 consecutive quarterly increases. How many years is that? 92 divided by 4. That's 23 consecutive years of increasing their dividend every quarter. That's just, that's great. Now, during this pandemic, they've actually done better than I think anybody could have expected. And I think that's because of the quality of their tenants. Now, they own the real estate under and behind a lot of these name brand stores you've seen, like Walgreens here on their homepage, okay? They have 6,500 properties under long-term lease agreements. They're in 49 states, Puerto Rico, and the UK. 600 different tenants, 50 different industries, okay? You can go up here and you can see under portfolio, we can see, let's take a look at their top 20 tenants, see what they are. Walgreens, they have 248 Walgreens locations, 403 7-Elevens, 771 Dollar Generals, 41 different FedEx locations, 550 Dollar Trees or Family Dollars. Now here's the ones that are going to get hit hard by the pandemic. LA Fitness, Regal Cinemas, AMC Theaters, Lifetime Fitness. But you can see that in comparison, they're not as big a portion of their holdings, a percentage of their revenue. Okay, so during the pandemic here, I think their rent collection was right around 88%, which is fantastic compared to the rest of the industry. Oh, well, right here. They've maintained a 98.5% occupancy, which is fantastic. If you know anything about real estate and rental real estate and commercial property, that is a great occupancy rate. Now, that doesn't mean they all paid during the pandemic, but they did better than most. And even since the end of the shutdown here, they've been recovering nicely. I don't know why I don't hold more of this company, and I'm not telling you that you should. I'm just saying, if you want to buy a company like this is a good place to start to look into it. They got what we're looking for. Look at this is good diversification. And these are good tenants. Super America, BJ's Wholesale, Circle K, a lot of gas stations, Home Depot, 54 Walmarts and Sam's Clubs. Okay, these are good quality tenants. These aren't your, mom and pops that are going to be the first to go out of business when a crisis hits. So when people talk about a collapse in commercial real estate, I worry about that a lot. I really do, and I think it's something really to be dealt with. But when you look at a holding like this, you have to look at what's behind all that, and look at the quality of these tenants. Okay, so I just want to take a second and touch on that. They just got a great investor relations website here. I'm going to spend some more time on this later. But anyway, let's go back to who paid this week. Those were just the companies that increased their dividends. ETF FDVV, that's the Fidelity High Dividend ETF. They paid out this week. I don't really go into the yields on the ETFs because they change constantly based on the underlying assets. But if you want to look them up, you just go to Fidelity here. That's their ETF. The SDY fund, I'm just looking at that on NASDAQ here. You can see the current yield is 3.15%, annual dividend $2.82. I may dump this one and swap it out into something else because the expense ratio is too high. I think the expense ratio is 0.8%. That's too high. There's no reason in this day and age I should be paying 0.8% expense ratio on an ETF. So I'm looking for something to replace it with, and I'll just make a sideways move when we do. The only individual stock that paid out this week is Royal Dutch Shell. And I hold the B shares, which is right here. They give a lot of information here. They got their A shares and their B shares. Slight difference between the two. Maybe someday we'll get into that. And they denominated in some different, the euros. You can look at the price in euros here. Then they give information about their dividends and share buybacks, share prices, all their environmental stuff, financial publications. So if you need reports on any of these companies, you can find them here. So now, let's talk about my goals a little bit. First, what I'm going to do here is use this calculator. It's dividend-calculator.com. And the reason I use this, it's not the perfect calculator, but it's a good start. And I used it because what I wanted to do is map out my income from where I am now to retirement and see if I'm on track. And I don't mind sharing with you that my goal for retirement is, as far as dividends are concerned, $100,000 a year in dividends. It's a pretty lofty goal, but it's not unreachable. It's definitely not unreachable, especially when you have calculators like this to see what it takes to get there. So what I did is I went through each individual holding, and let's just start over here at the bottom. We're going to start down here. And I took each individual stock I have, and I just went with a straight across dividend growth rate of 5%. Now I have some that average 8.5%, some that average 3%. But a pretty doggone close average is 5% annual growth rate in dividends. So I'm going to keep it at a constant 5%. I went through each individual stock here, and I put in what the starting yield is. I'm just looking through my notes here so I can do this pretty accurate. And take something like, we will talk about Toronto Dominion Bank. I kind of like that one. Right now their yield is 5.18%. So we're just going to put this here. I'm going to use some fictitious numbers here because it's nobody's business what dollar amounts I have. Number of shares held, we're just going to say 100. An even 100 per share, 100 shares. Cost per share, well, we'll use today's share price of $45.10. Okay. Years to hold, that would be the number of years till retirement. We're going to say 25 years until retirement. And then we'll calculate. So, if we come up here, now this is going to give you two sets of information here. This is what you're going to have if you don't reinvest the dividends, if you just take your payouts every month and don't reinvest them into that asset. And then over here, we have with reinvestment. So you can see there's going to be a substantial difference here. So we start here with year one, that would be this year. And it's that investment would throw off $233 of income. Year 10, we're up to $630. This is all with reinvestment. Let's look over here without reinvestment. $362. So really we're almost double at year 10 with reinvesting versus not reinvesting. Let's just cut to the chase down here to year 25. If we do not reinvest dividends the whole 25 years, we will be up to an average annual income from that investment of $753. But had we reinvested the dividends those 25 years, which you would do in a retirement plan, most likely, our annual income off that one investment would be $6,738.26, pardon me. And the value of it, this is, okay, now this calculator does not take into account any increases in share price. So we'd have to figure that differently. That would be a really complicated calculator. So we're just going to keep it as a static share price. We would start off with $4,743 would be our initial investment. And down here, our value at the end would be $47,072.58. So off that one investment, we would be at $6,738 of income. Okay, and that's never touching the principal. And that would only tend to increase over time if we left it. Let's see what happens if we are a little younger and we could let that ride for 35 years. I'm just going to change it down here in the calculator down here. And let's hit calculate. So we were at, well, we can still see it here, 25 years, we were at $6,738. 10 more years, wow, that is crazy. 10 more years buys you $73,700 worth of income off that one investment. Wow, that's the power of compounding right there. And that's actually, Toronto Dominion has a slightly higher compound growth rate than 5%, but we're using that 5%. I'm just going to use that standard across the board. Some will be higher, some will be lower. So that illustrates the power of starting young. Or if you want to do something, say you're 60 years old now and you had a couple of grandchildren that were 5 years old and you wanted to put $1,000 or $2,000 away for them for later in life. You've just seen what's possible here, haven't you? Imagine if you stretch that to 50 years. It would be insane, the amount of money per year that see, this is why I don't care so much about growth as I care about compounding the income, because I don't care that the value after 35 years is $344,000 because it's generating me $73,000 a year in income. Why would I even touch that $344,000 in principal? I'd never need to touch it. This is just off of this one investment we illustrated here with Toronto Dominion Bank. Okay, so I went through the portfolio. Obviously, I don't have 35 years to retirement. I wish I did. I used 23. So that would put us somewhere around $4,500 of income per year off that one. So I went through the portfolio and I did this for each individual holding that I have. And I came up with a number. Let's find it here. And it puts me, if I never invested another dollar, I just say I stopped investing here today, it would put me at $113,295 in annual income. So I've met my goal theoretically. All I got to do is wait it out another 23 years. Easier said than done, right? But I'm not going to stop there because it would be nice to retire earlier. Maybe I can slide on out of here at 59 and a half with that kind of income. Or what if I'm half wrong and I need to plan more or something drastic happens in life? Or I just want to leave a pile of money for my heirs. Then I could leave enough money and income every year where they never have to touch the principal, and that could go on for generation after generation. Many different ways to think about this. Now this is just off the dividend portion of my portfolio. We're not talking about real estate. I haven't really set any solid concrete goals as far as the rental real estate. I need to work on that and see which direction we're going to go with all of that. But I just want to share, this is a pretty handy calculator. Once again, it's dividend-calculator.com. And they have more calculators on here than just this. Drip calculators, compound interest. So pretty handy. Wanted to illustrate that and how to use it. So if you like this kind of thing, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.